Hello, everyone. This is Will from Apple One to One. Definitely for the first time this night, recording this podcast with over 20 years experience. We are former Apple retail employees, and I am Will TLD, the former Apple specialist, creative genius. Along with me every week is the former Apple creative, retired book publisher, soccer mom recorder, Jurassic Park owner, black coffee drinker, juror number 12, retirement home president, the keto trout drummer, Mr. Frank Funk. See, I did that better, and this is the second recording that we're doing because I forgot to record the first time. I did that one better.
It's a good thing you were the Apple genius, not me.
Yes, I am a genius. That's what I had to write on all my resumes. When people said, "Hey, what is your job title?" I said,
"I'm a genius."
That's right. That's what it was. We are here to talk about the Apple event that happened this week, or whenever you're watching this, to talk about the new iPhones that came out, the new Apple Watches, and the AirPods Pro 3 that came out. Please like and subscribe our content. And our job here is, as a training channel, not really to go over all the tech specs. You could definitely watch people that talk about all the specs and all that. And they buy them anyway because they're tech people. We're here to tell you, for the everyday person, if we feel like that this is something you should get or not. And that's the idea of it. And if you should get it, what model you should upgrade from, where we feel like it's valuable to you. So, Frank, let's dive into what Apple announced today. And first off, we're going to talk about the AirPods Pro 3. And I know one of the things that we discussed in our podcast that we definitely didn't record was the AirPods Pro 3 was the favorite feature that I liked when they announced was the live translation feature.
Yes.
And that was a feature that I think we both agree was great. But something you didn't know that I informed you about was that this is a feature not in the AirPods Pro 3 alone. This is in the AirPods Pro 2 and in the AirPods Pro 4 with active canceling. So this is not a feature just specifically for the AirPods Pro 3. So really, what are we looking at as far as what are the differences? Like, what are the biggest differences that matter besides more noise canceling? Noise.
In the fitness features, you have detects your heart rate while you're actively exercising or in your fitness routine. It can send you warnings, things of that nature. And I think along with the watch, the AirPod 3s are becoming a very, very useful health product. So I think that was a big feature. You have battery life increased to 8 hours, 10 hours for the hearing aids. So if you're in that category where you think you may need the hearing aids,
this guy is. He's in that category. He needs hearing aids.
What'd you say? What?
Yeah, see? If you had your AirPods in right now, like I do, you'd be able to hear me. I actually did try the testing. Did you try the test?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I have good ears, so we're still good on there. But AirPods Pro 4, for example, has 4 hours. AirPods Pro 2 has 6, and then you have 8. So big jump between those model types. I mean, you're talking for $79 more, you might as well get the AirPods Pro 3 at this point. But AirPods Pro 2 are also for sale on Amazon. I found them today for $200, and your argument was, well, for $50 more, I might as well get the new ones. Right. I mean, that all depends if $50 of value is really there. I will tell you personally, as an AirPods Pro 2 user, I am not getting the 3 because there's nothing in there that I don't. They're just, what's really amazing about AirPods Pro 2, and this is compared to the 1, they added so many features to this 2. They have rewarded you for being an owner of this product, which I think is great.
Well, you have the spatial audio, which is, I mean, if you haven't heard it, it's really pretty impressive. So that's in the 2. The 3, you still have that. And like we said, the live translation with 2 people that have the AirPod 3s, one's speaking 2 different languages, it'll translate live. So
live translation. I'm really hoping that could work with somebody and show that off on this channel. I think that would be great. I don't know how we can record that, but I think it's a really cool idea to have that. But what I really do appreciate is that Apple is putting value back into the AirPods Pro 2. They're adding features over time of having this product that have made it a very, good product. It is probably one of the top 5 Apple products since the Steve Jobs era has been gone, that they have created that has been a monster hit. And and I think Steve would really like what they did with the AirPods Pro 2 specifically, because and now they're adding all these, new AirPods to all these features. It's been tremendous. For it. So AirPods Pro 2 for me is always a winner. I would tell you to get that. Moving on to the Apple Watch, they came out with the new watch models that they introduced. Again, they're very incremental updates. This is actually technically the 10th anniversary since that announcement, and I was out in Cupertino back on October 1st when this announcement was announced last year. So I got to be a part of Apple's first Apple Watch announcement as I was out in California for my Genius training, which was a really interesting but cool experience that they did that. And now we are 10 years later with this watch. It's amazing where that watch has come from, where they thought it was a jewelry product and they were trying to show it off like a luxury idea. It was one of the silliest things they ever did, and then they made the pivot probably by the third watch, where they made the big pivot, and they really made it the correct product that it was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's when they started using it as a extension of your phone.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted you to buy a $10,000 gold Apple Watch here. I mean, that's where we were in the beginning.
Well,
I mean, it was terrible timing. It was terrible times for us working at the retail store with the way that they wanted us to showcase that product, and then they changed. At the third generation, they really changed it. But as far as the Series 11 goes, first thing is pricing is all the same, which is great. I can only compare to myself what I have, which is a Series 8. And I have a cellular model, but I can't use that because I have Mint. And Mint does not allow me to use the features of the cellular model. So it's pointless for me to get that, although I'm only paying $360 a year for my service. So y'all need to get that. That's why you buy your phone price. Is there anything about the watch that you like? Any of the models?
Well, they have the added health benefits, the blood pressure.
Blood pressure was a big one. Yeah, I mean, it's not real blood pressure. I mean, they're trying not to say that it's like the end all be all of blood pressure monitoring here, but they're trying to get it approved.
It does detect spikes in your blood pressure and will send you a warning, which is, I mean, yes, it's not the official blood pressure, but it's not going to do it every day. Would alert you
they are
hypertension.
Yeah, so how they explained it was it's a trend, which means that they're going to review it a monthly trend of your blood pressure. When it comes to the blood pressure monitoring system, it's over time. And then they added sleep score, which will give you more details about your sleep. But they did make the battery life better on the Series 11 and 3.
24 hours.
They need to get those battery lives longer. That is a key element. That's why I don't really wear my watch at night. Number one, it feels weird wearing a watch at night. I'll be honest. I think if I had the sport model, which is a little bit lighter than the one I have, which is the metal, I think I would like it better. But it's a little heavy. So I don't know how well I would sleep with it. That's just me. I need something like very light that would be not noticeable on there. But is there any other features that you really liked?
Well, just like I said, the fitness, the workout sessions. You have more than 50 new workout sessions. If it's a new feature.
Yep. One thing I will say, and this is something we talked about, which I wanted to bring up, is Apple did an amazing job showcasing how the Apple Watch has saved lives. And the one thing that we both felt, which was one of the stronger videos, was the guy that suffered a heart attack or a stroke. I don't remember which one he suffered. And he drove into a house, went through the house and into the pool.
The garage.
And they actually showed the footage of that and how that guy basically said I was going to be done for. And because of the crash
he flipped over. He hit the garage, flipped over, and landed upside down in the pool.
Yeah. And the crash detection feature called 911 and saved his life, basically. And they showed multiple stories about that. And I
Yes.
think that there's always a story I watched on the news one time where I always hear about the Apple Watch, how it saved them, or how the iPhone saved them. You don't hear that about Samsung, man. Like, I never hear anybody say the Samsung watch saved somebody's life. It's always the Apple Watch. So that just tells you that they just make a better product. I mean, that's just the truth.
Okay.
Do you hear it? Do you hear anybody talk about how?
No, I don't.
Okay. So that's why
I don't want to sneak. I don't want
no,
to give them.
no, bring it. I'm not a Samsung user, so what do I know?
No, nor am I. I just, to me, people ask me about, why. Once you get into the Apple infrastructure, if you like it, you're in it. You're not gonna have. Well, I know a few people that have the Galaxy Watch and they have Mac computers and an iPhone, and I'm like, why? I don't understand it. But
yeah, I'm sure I'm sure the design model of it is probably a big part of it.
Maybe that, But
I personally am perfectly fine with the watch. I personally, I don't use the watch as much as I used to anymore. I definitely feel like some things don't work as great when it's paired to my phone. I have some weird issues. So I'm not like jumping over the moon to get one. Right now I have a Series 8 cellular stainless steel, and my battery's at 85% capacity. It's definitely going to be getting there. And I'm trying to figure out what my next move is going to be as far as the Apple Watch goes. But I really just don't use it enough to make it like worth it. And now, especially now that the notifications come on my computer because of iPhone mirroring,
right.
I kind of use the watch even less now.
Well, I used to collect watches.
Mm-hmm.
I have about 12 different analog watches, and I got to tell you, the Apple Watch is the only watch I wear anymore. So I have a substantial amount of money sitting there.
Yeah. I have ones too that I definitely have a lot of. I just went to the Freehold store and I upgrade all my batteries on my regular watches, and I never wear them though. But I can't wear them if they don't work. So to be fair,
yep.
And it was good to go to the old Apple store and see some people that still work there. Michelle, who was our former manager, who was one of my favorite manager personally. Even though I felt like she could have stepped in and helped me out on a few occasions when it came to some of the issues I had in my own Freehold store. But when I moved to Quaker Bridge, I still had a great experience, great people there. She was still my favorite manager too. At least she definitely wanted to talk to us. That's where I felt like that's why she was so good.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about the main event. I mean, honestly, as far as the Apple Watches go, I mean, they're all the same price. You can decide if you think the watch is good. Me having an 8, I don't see myself upgrading to any of these watches yet. I'm just not ready for any big change. But I will say on the Ultra 3 specifically, they did make it a little bit brighter and a little bit like more room. They have the satellite feature built into them now, which is great. So now you don't have to worry about, having the phone on you. You can do this with the watch itself. Yeah. Now you have to have a cellular plan to do the Find My Messages feature, which they're coming out with, and they're giving it away for free, as they still have been. Right. So, but beyond that, I don't have anything great. Yeah. So let's talk about it. Is there anything you want to say about the watch?
No, we pretty much covered it.
iPhone 17 Air and 17 Pro came out. So lots of great features to talk about in this one. First off, ProMotion display, thank God.
Yeah.
That is now every phone now has 120 hertz. So now all the big YouTubers can stop complaining that they don't have 60 hertz in their display, where I always said no one cares about that.
Yeah.
Now, do you see a difference? Yes, you absolutely do. Does my wife care about that? Absolutely not. Does your wife care about that? Absolutely not.
They have the ceramic shield too, on front and back. So that's a new upgrade. You have the 7-layer anti-glare on the front, which is kind of nice.
I'm kind of glad also that they have the new ceramic shield on the back, because on the iPhone Air and the iPhone Pro, because I have a cracked glass right now. So glass doesn't work great. Ceramic shield would have been really nice to have.
Yeah. That all-day battery life.
Yeah, they really upped the battery life on this phone a
Yeah.
lot on both on all of them. I mean, the Air is a
Yes.
little bit difficult to increase on, but for the Pro and the 17, they definitely did.
They have the A19 chip, 6-core CPU, 5-core GPU. And the other thing with this presentation, they talked about gaming a little bit, but not a lot.
No,
Which I'm glad.
well, because I don't think they brought any new features to it because they didn't do like ray tracing this time. Like they didn't talk about like there were just some things that they didn't talk about because they were not existent.
Yep.
They
But the
didn't
big
add
thing is
anything.
the 48 megapixel cameras, center stage, and
Yeah, let's talk about center stage. That all front of those center stage now have center stage cameras. They got 18. They went from 12 to 18 megapixel. The center stage feature is now available on all three of these phones. And my favorite part is you don't have to turn your hand to get that horizontal shot now.
landscape.
The sensor,
there's just a button there you can push.
So the sensor now is built in there that actually will let you make the landscape photo in this mode, which is a game changer, I think, on this. But not only that, for me, and one of the reasons I want to upgrade possibly to the 17 Pro is the feature that records both the back and the front at the same time.
Yes.
Which is an Air and a Pro feature, not a regular 17 feature.
Yeah.
And that to me is a game changing feature.
It's a multicam recorder in one.
Yeah, it is. I want to find out if they're going to separate the files in there or not. Right now, the way they showed it, basically that you were looking in the corner and it was recording it at the same time.
Yep.
I may not necessarily want that embedded in the video, though. So I don't know what the rule is going to be on that. We're going to have to wait and see how that works. It's going
to be interesting. And then now let's talk about the Air. The iPhone Air.
No number Air. The no number iPhone.
Yes. It's 5.6 millimeters thin. That's a titanium frame. Now, and that has 120 hertz refresh rate as well. 6.5 display. The big thing that you were talking about is the bump on the back. They explained why that's there.
Yeah, and, which was great that they did that.
Yeah, they put a massive amount of technology in that bump because they needed the more space. They designed a whole new cooling system, the vapor lock, which dissipates the heat down towards the end of the phone and out. And
they also switched from a titanium tube back to aluminum again because of that. Because titanium would not be able to probably do what they wanted to do. They made a unibody model for that
tensile strength. Yeah,
they made a unibody model for that Pro, so that changed what they had to do as far as material wise. So, I mean, they were going crazy on the titanium jump, but they now have gone backwards on that.
But the Air is, I mean, it's nice. Just have to see how, like you had mentioned before, I don't know.
Is it good? Is it like is the thinness make a difference in your iPhone experience? That's what the key is. And from a hardware side, very cool, very cool. They made the thinnest phone they possibly could, and there's nothing really out there that compares to the thinness of that phone, at least from the bottom part. But beyond that, is it really something?
Well, the other thing would be the weight. Would be the weight, right?
Okay. So is your pockets being held down by your iPhone 14?
Well,
I
don't know. Me no, but is it if you're going out and you have your jacket on? Is it nice to just slip it in there? And whereas you put on the inside pocket, you put your Pro. It's a little weighted. You have the Air in there. Maybe you don't even know it's there. I don't know.
Yeah, I would think like even for me, like I also put my phone on a tripod for a lot of my video things.
Right.
And I don't know. I think it might be too thin. Like it almost might be like not thick enough. for there. I mean, I'm not an Air user. The Air is not for me. I'm a video production guy, so I do videos all the time for my weddings. And speaking of video recording, there are features in this phone that I don't have, and I'm not comparing them to the 16 Pro Max. I'm comparing them to my 15 Pro Max that I have.
Right.
I don't have the studio quality full or micro array. I don't have the wind noise reduction. I don't have the audio mixing built in there. So I am missing they have the new ProRes RAW, which is a big thing for color correction, which is great for me. So there are things that I'm definitely missing out on that would convince me to get a 17 Pro Max. And one of the things that they did, which is very sneaky in the pricing, they didn't increase the price. They just started it at a different price because everything starts at $256.
Yes,
and it used to start at $999. What they've done is that they have just shown the beginning price is just the same price as it was before, but to everyone's mind thinking it's increased, but it really hasn't.
and if you want, if you want to spend the money, you can go up to 2 terabytes in the phone.
That's crazy. I don't know. $2,000, by the way, if you do that. $2,000 for that. That's crazy.
Well, but you have the you said the zoom features. The zoom features have
8 times
increased.
is the highest amount, which is a 200 millimeter lens. If you wanted to go compare the lens, the aperture is really good on this new phone. It's a 1.7, I think, 1.7, 1.8 aperture. So a lot more light can go in there. The lower the aperture, the more light that can
so if you're doing a lot of low light photography.
So I'm really excited to get that in there. What I usually like to do is when I go to the Apple Store and I compare my phone and I look at it and I just look at how good it is or how not good it was.
Right.
When I went and tried the 16, there was nothing much of a difference for me. I want to go see how the 17 and the 15 compare side by side when I look at them.
Yep. Well, the sizes, you have the 6.9.
Yep.
It's the largest. And
it definitely makes my screen bigger too. I have a 6.7.
So, I like it. Will I upgrade to it? I don't know. If
you have a 16 now, you're not going to upgrade. You're going to buy a Vision Pro instead. That's what you should be buying.
If I change carriers and they have a deal where I can get one for
so they can tie you down to their system for the next 2 years. Yeah,
I don't care if they tie me down. So what? But
we need our freedom. We don't need to be tied down to these carriers.
Yes, but I have relatives who switched to T-Mobile, and they didn't even want their old phones as a trade-in. So I can keep my 16 and go to the 17, and now I have dual cameras.
Well, it must be nice being retired and you can do those kind of things, Frank. We're trying to talk to the everyday user here of that. And what I think is a good upgrade is if you have an iPhone 13, it's time to upgrade. I think the always on display was probably the biggest thing that I really liked on the new phones. I do enjoy having that. And I just think that for connectivity wise, I just think that there's just so much more that it offers for the value now. Obviously I'm not talking about battery. Also, the stainless steel frame is a lot heavier on there. So that's another thing as well. I would, and then you're going from 29 hours, I think, like I have a battery life, to 39 on this Pro Max. It's huge,
and
for battery.
Don't forget, if the iPhone you have now is a let's say a 13. I mean, you don't want to wait too much longer to get a new one because it will reach a point where the operating system won't function in your phone.
Right.
So. And if that matters to you, fine. If it doesn't, then no big deal.
Mm-hmm. I would say that would be the turning point for that regarding the iPro. I mean, when it comes to the iPhone Air, again, I don't know who that's for, and I'm trying to figure it out.
The jury's out. We'll see. I think it could be a testing ground for some of that new technology. For the vapor heat distribution. That could be something that they move into all of the phones to make them all thinner. Maybe not as thin as the Air, but still thinner.
Yeah, I mean, everyone also has to get used to a single lens. If everyone is okay with that, that I mean, they're trying to tell you that, hey, you could have a telephoto look on this lens, but the reality
Right,
is it's
right,
not really a telephoto lens; it's an optical
right,
lens that they're using software
right.
to do it. So they could kind of lie to you on that one all they want, but that's not the reality of it.
Yep.
So for me, I am a 512 gigabyte user of the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I think that's where I'm going to be headed towards. The trade in right now was like 520. It was terrible. I also have a crack on the front, and I have a scratch on the front and a crack on the back. So it's going to cost me $99 to get it changed out.
Yeah.
And to sell it for $700 plus, ask my Apple friends if you'd like to hook me up with a nice little discount.
Yeah.
I could probably get that phone for about $800.
Well, there you go. Well, and the other thing, don't forget, they got the new strap, the wraparound strap.
That's
Yeah, I'm
stupid.
telling you.
That strap is
I'm telling
$60. Now, would you rather pay
Mark
$60 for
my
the strap or the polishing cloth? Which one would you rather pay for?
at the strap.
Why? What are you going to wear a strap
It's
for?
a cross-body strap. If you're going to a sporting event or you're going to a concert, you have it across your body. It's right there. Boom, pick it up, take your thing. Boom. You don't have to worry about putting your pocket. Sit down, falls out of your pocket or your purse or whatever. Because I know you carry a purse, but it's going to be. I'm telling you, mark my words, it's going to be a big seller. I'm telling you.
I'd rather you buy the polishing cloth. And guess what? It's compatible with all iPhones.
Yes, cloth. Yes, it is.
Not the strap. It's not. You have to buy a certain case, which is going to cost you $40 or more. So to have your look that you're looking for, you are paying over $100 for that. So just point that out.
Function, form, and function.
All right. I mean, they did come out with some accessories as well. Like as far as like they have those tech moving cases again. They have the clear cases. They do have the battery pack as well, which is only for the Air. So there's a MagSafe battery pack that's $100.
That's the one thing when they showed that in the presentation, I thought
they just made the phone the same size.
Phone. If you're buying the phone because it's so thin. Why do you want to put a battery pack on it? I don't know.
To have more battery. That's usually the reason.
But I don't know. It's kind of
because they're justifying that. Okay, well, if you buy this thin phone, we know the battery doesn't last as long. So here's a slap this battery case on it and make it the same weight and size as your regular phone. Then now it's not even different.
Yep.
You might as well just buy a 17 at that point.
Listen, overall, I thought it was a great presentation. The entire presentation was filmed with iPhones.
As it happened, yeah.
So, I thought it was pretty good. Very impressive, I thought. Were the features the next great thing? Not necessarily, but they were certainly improvements and advancements.
They have to. Right now, for me, Apple's got to get back in the good graces of people. They have literally, this Apple Intelligence thing has been a complete sham. I think iPhone 16 suffered for it too because they promised Apple Intelligence with this phone. Yeah. It never happened. Now they're in the middle of a lawsuit, which I know they're going to lose. And they're going to lose. Like, there's no way they're not going to. Like, they said built for Apple Intelligence, and it just nothing, the whole thing just didn't come out, and it's not even great. So it compared to anything else out there.
It's, I guess everybody has a misstep every now and then. So, but
this is a big misstep. Yeah, I think it is a big misstep. This is iPhone battery level missteps.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's at that level.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have to pay for that. And I think they just jumped the gun. And I've watched enough stories about how that whole Apple Intelligence story kind of went down. And I think there's the only way this is going to work is if they get an outside third party AI bot. It's just the only way I think it's going to work. I just hope that they can do it themselves.
Buy a AI company.
I think they're going to buy an AI company, but they could definitely license out like Gemini or something, like all their algorithms or whatever it is that they can do.
Yeah.
Well,
Gemini is the Google product, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the rumor going around is that they've been talking with Google to use Gemini as part of their Apple Intelligence.
Like they did with Safari to use Google as the default search engine.
Well, they get paid for that, and thank God, there was no monopoly denial of that, or else Apple would have lost $200 billion if that happened. But going into politics of these products here, I just go back to the 16. That the reason why I don't think people are going to look fondly at that is not the phone itself; it's the Apple Intelligence part of it.
Right.
That's what people are going to remember.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
All right. Well, I hope you guys took a look at everything. Hope you guys enjoyed the products that we showed you up today. We really do appreciate you guys hanging around, liking, subscribing to our content. And we'd like to know below, what do you think you're going to buy in the future? Let us know. But we appreciate you, Frank. Thank you very much. This time I definitely recorded this one, and I love every single one of you.
Take care.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for viewing our content. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe so you can see all our training videos.